I watched hundreds of hours of college basketball this season, so you didn't have to. The Spartans just punched their ticket to the Sweet 16. So how was Tom Izzo and crew able to withstand a 10-point deficit and contain a 20-point-a-night guy in Donovan Dent? Well, I'll let you know right now, they did it with some defensive tactics that not every team could implement. If you jump into the first possession of this game, Jeremy Fears is on Dent. You go to the second possession of this game, and Jace Richardson is matching up with him. On the third possession, if you look at the top of your screen, it's Jaden Akins in front of Dent. Not only was Izzo able to throw 3 bodies at him, it was actually 4, because when Trey checked into the game, that's who matched up on Dent.
We had what we call our 6-eye approach when he should have been seeing 6 eyes every time he had it.
Obviously, Izzo's talking about the 2 eyes of his defender and then the 4 eyes of the remaining 4 defenders on Michigan State, and that's the kind of principle that led to a steal like this, where Jeremy helps over because he has an eye on Dent. And this steal was a huge moment in the game because it resulted in a 3 for Akins that put Michigan State up by 5. Michigan State clearly planned on digging down throughout this game to not give the bigs from New Mexico time to operate in the post, and when they dug down, it was very effective throughout this game. You can see Jeremy digging down and causing some confusion for their bigs and actually ends up getting a tie up here. One of my favorite plays of the game last night, which probably no one really noticed, was the fact that Jace played in this gap right here and kind of pretended like he was going to dig down, and just the thought of him being able to do it after Jeremy already got a steal doing it scared Joseph enough to end up causing him to carry the ball. Tom Izzo also loves stunting against guards that he doesn't think can shoot well, so definitely the game plan was to stunt hard into the driving lanes and actually go for steals because they didn't think that New Mexico's guards could handle the traffic and still drive to the hoop. And shout out to the best stunter I've seen in a Michigan State uniform because Trey always gets steals doing this. Now let's talk about Michigan State Swiss Army knife Frankie Fiddler. Last night he played the 3 and the 4. Well, the guards 1 through 3 were switching everything and then the 4s were hedging. Within roughly the same minute of game time, Frankie hedges for the guard to get back in front, and then just moments later he's switching with the other guards, which is crucial to the game plan to help slow down Dent and throw a lot of bodies at him. And here he is blocking Dent on a drive, who's a crafty finisher, and then later in the game he's taking a hit on their post and causing an offensive foul. That's some defensive versatility right there. And when I did my video on Michigan State's perimeter defenders, I mentioned how well they rim protect, and that was on full display last night. With about 7 minutes left in a tie game, Akins stepped up and hit the biggest shot of the Michigan State season so far. And after a really rough shooting night, Jace checked in at the 2:12 mark, and starting with this deflection on the inbound, he made every play he needed to make to secure the win. He got fouled on a 3 and stepped up like a senior and made all 3 free throws. And also with Fiddler forced into a tough shot at the end of the shot clock, he gets this tip in and 1 and hits that free throw as well. It took some defensive versatility for Michigan State to survive this gut check, but they move on past New Mexico and advance to the Sweet 16.